They are heavily armed and claim to be protecting our state from foreign threats and from our own government. But the state's growing militia movement is causing concern among law enforcement, and for good reason, as investigative reporter Morgan Lowe tells us in this CBS 5 undercover investigation.
We try to keep it low-key.
You're watching hidden camera video of a secret recruitment meeting for a militia.
We have units forming all over the state, hundreds of people.
It's a growing movement made up of people with similar views.
The state of the country has become very alarming.
The people here are ordinary citizens, retired and active military, and military contractors.
We're here to protect our community foremost, protect our state second.
We'll get back to them in a moment, but first, we should tell you how I ended up here.
Brian, call sign Reaper.
The Arizona State Militia is a volunteer group with a website, a Facebook page, and a growing appetite for new members. CBS 5 Investigates followed them from Sierra Vista, where we attended the meeting, to Chandler for another recruiting session, to Kingman, where they claimed to have hundreds of interested volunteers.
This recruitment that you're talking about, it should be a concern for law enforcement.
Bill Strauss is the Arizona Regional Director of the Anti-Defamation League, an organization that tracks militias across the country. Strauss says the movement is gaining momentum, but these aren't just patriotic weekend warriors.
It's way more dangerous than that. They want to call themselves militia. The truth of the matter is, it's all about vigilantism. It's all about taking the law into your own hands.
The result in Arizona has been bloody. J.T. Reddy was a rising star in the state militia movement until he mowed down 4 people in a Gilbert home, then turned the gun on himself. Shauna Ford broke into a southern Arizona home and murdered a 9-year-old girl and her father. Ford is now on death row. Chris Simcox, the Minuteman founding father, is in jail charged with child molesting. The latest incident happened out here in the middle of the desert, 40 miles south of Phoenix, in the middle of the night, when a militia member pulled a gun on a sheriff's deputy.
Sheriff's Office radio.
Can you send a couple more units out here? I just had a militia group point a rifle at me.
According to the police report, the deputy was conducting drug interdiction operations along Interstate 8 when Richard Malley confronted the deputy and held him at gunpoint with an AR-15 assault rifle. Malley said he thought the deputy was a drug smuggler. Malley was out in the desert that night helping this man, Robert Crooks, the leader of their operation.
I got 6 here last night.
I met Crooks while posing as a volunteer for his group.
I've been shot at 23 times in 24 months.
We hiked through the desert, Crooks wearing camouflage and carrying a rifle. He told me about the night Malley was arrested.
I guess that detective jumped 3 feet off the deck. Here's Richard, he got his flashlight on the end of his AR, you know. So he got the cop lit up, and I guess, you know, he's considering that armed and aggravated assault on pointing a gun at a cop. In reality, it was just, you know, fog of war or miscommunication.
Critics say that incident is a prime example of what can go wrong when militia members cross paths with real law enforcement.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened before.
That brings us back to the Arizona State Militia, the group recruiting new members across the state. They claim to be different, more organized, better screened.
We are not an anti-immigration group. That is left to law enforcement.
We cannot have any felons. We cannot countenance anybody saying, oh yeah, let's go assassinate Holger. As much as he may need it, you can't do it. You know?
But what stands out in this group is the secrecy. Code phrases dot their website. They have a rule against using cell phones while on militia business.
So we need to be careful. Funny things have been happening with people's cell phones in this group.
And none of them use their real names. That, says Bill Strauss from the ADL, is a red flag.
Whenever anonymity is key to a group, You have to ask yourself about the group.
We didn't know whether you had hidden cameras or any of that kind of stuff.
We wanted to ask some questions. After all, this is a statewide militia with hundreds of members, some in the military, some military contractors. But when I revealed that I'm really a reporter, the interview did not last.
Isn't that
Our
kind of
members'
thing?
faces going to be shown on TV
Probably, yeah.
when this interview's over.
You say that you're different. You say that nothing, you don't have anything to hide, and yet
We're not going to do this interview.
you went across the state holding public meetings, and now it seems like you don't want to be public. The commander of the Arizona State Militia told me he's worried that Mexican drug cartel leaders would put bounties on the heads of his members if we showed their faces. But there's another reason they may be camera shy. Many of the members are government employees and military contractors, and in some cases, they're not supposed to be members of any militia groups.
And you point to a growth in these groups. Is there any way to tell how many of these militia actually exist in the state?
Well, this one's definitely the largest one, but according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, there are 39 active militias in Arizona, some with just a few members, but some with dozens of members.
Interesting.
Wow.
All right.
And Morgan's got a great behind-the-scenes slideshow right now on CBS5AZ.com. Thanks a lot.